Hello, Hollywood Times viewers. Judy Shields here. Today we are so excited to welcome vocalist, licensed jet pilot, best-selling author, psychologist, and theater producer Judy Whitmore. Hi, Judy.
Hi, Judy. Nice to see you here today.
That's a great name.
Well, yes.
I hear a little bird told me that you and I are named after the same person.
Yes, I am named after Judy Garland. I guess there was a lot of us
Yes.
that were. And my grandfather worked with her at MGM. My
Wow.
grandfather, when he was very young, um, his first gig at MGM was playing first violin on the soundtrack of The Wizard of Oz. And so he told us story. He worked on all of her movies, and he used to tell stories about her and just loved her. And I guess he had talked to my mother a lot about that, so she named me Judy.
Well, there you go. I'll give it 100% to you. My mom just loved her, and that was the reason why I got mine. So, but yours is really cool. Way connected. That's great. Have you ever talked to her daughter before? Met her?
No,
I said,
no,
oh, that'd be a
no.
great story for her, wouldn't it?
That would be.
Oh, wow.
I've actually thought of it. I may write to her.
You should.
Yeah.
That's worth a little note, you know? That would be great. I can have you both on. Well, we're here, folks, to talk about your fourth studio album, Let's Fall in Love. I have to tell you, you all have to get this, download it, whatever you guys call it, get it on your playlist because this is some amazing, amazing music, full orchestra. What is it like to record to do that with the full orchestra?
It's really the thrill of a lifetime. If you're a singer, to be able to sing with a full orchestra like that, there's nothing better. And the very first album that I did, there were strings on the album, but the strings were recorded in Budapest after everything was done, and then they added the strings afterwards. And then working with Chris Walden, he said, "No, it's much better if you can do the strings along with the orchestra. It's just you're going to have a much better experience," and he was right.
So, our viewers out there, if you don't know Chris Walden, he's a Grammy-nominated composer, arranger. He's worked Paul McCartney, Barbara Streisand, Stevie Wonder. So there's a few people he's worked with.
Yeah.
That's very lucky. How did you two guys meet?
Um, my vocal coach is Pisha McPhee, and I've been working with her for a very, very long time. And she said to me, you should have when I was going to record the last album, she said you should have Chris do your album. She and Chris have been friends for a long time, and it was just such a fortuitous introduction. And I'm so glad I did because I love working with him. First of all, he's so talented. The arrangements and the orchestrations that he writes are so beautiful. And in addition to that, he's just so nice. He's so
That's
nice to work with. Yeah, he's great.
that's why it comes across as beautiful as it did, when you have someone like that behind you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure working with him.
Now, was this released yesterday?
Today,
Today, actually today. Awesome.
just
Oh,
released it today, and I went around. I turned on Amazon Music, wanted to make sure it was there. I turned on Spotify. I haven't turned on Apple Music yet, but I suspect it's everywhere now.
oh, wow. So we will get this once this is done, we'll get it up right away so we can get it out there to the masses. So that will be wonderful. Can you talk about first off, I know we have your album to talk about, but let's kind of talk about you, your upbringing. What brought you to where you are today, your musical and singing abilities?
I was raised in Studio City, California,
Oh, wow.
and my our house revolved around music because my grandfather was there every day, and he would sit with me at the piano. He loved the music that he played at MGM, and because of that, that was the music that my mother was raised on, and that was the music that I heard in our house. And so it was just there was just music everywhere. Everybody sang all the time. When I was very young, we would go to Palm Springs a lot, and it would be me and my parents and my brother and my sister. And the activity that we would do in the car, we would all take turns choosing a song, and then everyone would sing it.
How cool is that?
We were always a singing family, and I was really lucky to have that kind of music around me, and it has fostered this great love that I have for the Great American Songbook. And
Oh. Yes, you're so blessed. It's it's just beautiful. I mean, I'm out here in Palm Springs actually this weekend, in the Las Palmas area, and it's just beautiful. It was a little bit breezy, but I said, let's listen to her so I could hear it all. And I'm like, no disrespect, but I was like falling asleep because it was just so amazing. I was so relaxed that it's like, this
well,
is great.
I wanted to do an album of love songs. I noticed that when I looked at my numbers on Spotify, I saw that the overwhelmingly that music of mine that people listen to are these love songs. So I thought to myself, let's do a whole album like that. And the thing about love songs is they they really bring out people's emotions. And so it's really great to get in touch with those deep emotions that sometimes you're not you don't feel free to do that. And this kind of music, these love songs, they inspire and they uplift and they motivate and comfort people. And I think that's why they like to hear them. And I love to sing them.
Yes, when I talk to singers or songwriters, because there's both that they could be, singers and songwriters and or do covers, whatever it is. I always like to talk about their album as far as I'd like to go over, you have 12 of them, like to talk about why you choose that and if you can tell us a little of any history you know about that song. So like I see here number one says I'll Take Romance. There it's amazing, all the music, but why that one?
Well, just because I loved it. Picking a song list for an album takes a long time. This is the fourth album, and for each album, it took about 3 months to choose the song list because you get a theme, whatever the theme is for that particular album. You start looking at songs that sort of relate to that, and then so that you put together a list, and or at least for this album, we put together a list, and of course it was 40 songs, so we can't do 40 songs. So we in the studio, we just start in the rehearsal studio, we just sing the song and then sing another song and see how those songs go together. And you want to, your finished list has to be a group of songs that feel good together, like a family.
Okay.
And that's how we go about choosing those songs. And there's songs, I mean, there's certain songs like that song, A Time for Love.
Yes.
I had heard that and I had watched an old movie and that was the theme song of the movie. And I had heard that and I looked it up. I wanted to see what it was. And I thought, if I'm doing an album, that was the first song that I chose.
Oh,
Just because I thought it was so beautiful. And I thought a lot of people, because it's an older song, people might not have heard it.
yes.
And so I decided that was my first choice. And every song every song was gone over with a fine-tooth comb to see how it fits with the other songs, and that's how they were all chosen.
So now you told us how you choose your songs. You went from 40 to 12. Do they, like I said, there's 12 of them, or who chooses like what order they'll come for us as the listener?
We well after wait until after the tracks are all recorded,
Okay.
and then we listen to all the tracks. And then what we do is we listen to the end of one track. Well, first of all, we put it in an order that we think might work. So
Okay.
then we listen to the end of the first track and then the beginning of the second track. And we say, what does that transition sound like? And if it doesn't sound good, then we put another song in the number two position. And then once we have the number two song, we say, okay, then we play the end of the number two song in the beginning of what we think is the number three song and see if that works. And so we do that until we have the whole album.
I've actually never asked someone I've interviewed that question because it just popped in my head right now because of your conversation with me that, well, wait a minute, I know they do this and they pick a title from maybe a song they pick that or they call it something like yours. And That was such a great answer. Thank you for letting me know.
Other people may do it differently, but that's how we do it.
That's a great way to do it. So the second one you have is All of You, which has the greatest opening, the music in that.
I love that song because I thought that song is so sensual. And it just gives me goosebumps when I think about it. It's just the lyrics are so great. I think that isn't that I think that's a song that has the lyric, "You'll never know how slow the moments go till I'm near to you."
Because it sounds like the beginning is a harmonica. Is that what's the beginning
No,
of?
it's a harmonica,
Oh,
and
right? Oh,
it's you're right, and it's Hendrik Merkens, who is probably the best harmonica player in existence. And when he plays, there's that interlude in the middle, and when he plays those really high notes, I don't know how they get those high notes out of that harmonica.
that little thing. I mean, some are longer, but it's just, I wrote down here in my notes, harmonica with a question mark, because it's like, is that what that was? It's just beautiful.
I just realized those lyrics I was quoting was not from All of You. It was from the very thought of you.
Okay, well, that's close enough.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. And then we already talked about it, Time for Love. Taking a Chance on Love. Now that's a great
Oh,
song.
Taking a Chance on Love. I have a special place in my heart for that song
Okay.
because when I had been the president of the board of directors of a theater company when I lived in Colorado. And when I moved back to California, the very first independent theater production that I produced on my own was called Taking a Chance on Love. And of course, it was a musical, and of course, that song was in the show. So I remember sitting in the audience every night, and I would listen to them sing that song, and all I could think about is, oh, I wish that was me singing that song up there. So I just always loved that song, and I thought on a love song album, that has to be in there.
Good choice. The next one, how long has this been going on?
You know what? I sang that because I heard that so many times on the Judy Garland album that my mom used to listen to. And it just, I don't know, there was something about it. I used to sing that when I was a little girl. And it's not like little girl lyrics, but somehow I just fell in love with it. And there's one other song on the album. I'm just looking at the song list here. Um, I think it was More Than You Know. I think I heard her sing that one too. And I think that's
Oh,
why I chose that one too.
the very thought of you. I think you talked about that one too, didn't you? Did
That
you?
very that was the one that I said those
Yeah,
lyrics
there
were
we go.
essential.
Okay,
Yes, and I love that.
great.
And that song, I've Got a Crush on You.
Yeah,
The reason I chose that song is because it's so cute.
yes, right.
It's just cute.
You know, who didn't have, we all started off with a crush, no matter
Yeah,
what age. Even if we were 4 years old, we had a crush,
yeah.
That's such a great song. You do
And,
amazing work
and you
with
know
it.
what? We still have crushes. We have crushes on places like Paris and
Oh,
food like pizza. And so there's crushes going on all the time.
yes, that's definitely a good one. It's all right with me.
I chose that song because I used to watch, I had a I had a video of the Frank Sinatra movie Can Can. And
Oh,
and that song is in that movie. I fell in love with Frank Sinatra when he was singing that song.
good one. Oh, crazy, he calls me.
Crazy He Calls Me. Oh, I wasn't really familiar with that song. And then I heard Rod Stewart sing it on his Great American Songbook album.
Oh my
And I played it over and over until I was making everybody around me crazy. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to put that on my album.
God. Boy, I love that there's stories behind them all. And then number 12, how deep is the ocean? Mm.
How deep is the ocean? It's just this beautiful, the lyrics are so beautiful. And if I ever lost you, how much would I cry? But it's everybody can get in touch with that.
Yeah, because we're going to experience that one day in our life, no matter at
Yeah.
whatever age. Ah, that's something else. So, what else did you do? Like, how long did it take you to put this particular album together?
Well, like I say, it took about 3 months to put the song list together, and then sent the whole song list to Chris, and then he he works really fast.
Wow.
He's so good, but he does work really fast. And so it took him, I don't know, about 6 weeks, maybe a little bit more. And as he works and as he gets the track, as he gets the music ready, the sheet music ready, he'll send it to us and we'll start rehearsing it. And then the actual recording of the album, usually it's 2 days to record the orchestra.
Okay.
We do 2 sessions a day, so we'll do three songs in the morning and then 3 songs in the afternoon for 2 days.
Uh-huh.
And then about a week later, after the tracks are mixed, then we'll come back and we'll do the vocals for
And
that. It usually takes about 3 days.
so it says here that the full orchestra was done at Hollywood's EastWest Studios.
Yes. And the first 2 albums that I did were recorded at Capitol.
Okay.
And I loved working at Capitol because when I was in college, I got a job as a background singer at Capitol Records.
Yay!
So I hadn't been in that building for years. So it was really exciting to go back there for those first 2 albums. And when we learned that Capitol was going to be closing for renovations for a couple of years,
Oh,
I thought, oh, I was so sad. I thought, what are we going to do? But we ended up recording at EastWest Studios, which is fabulous. It's an iconic studio that's been around for a long time, and you can
wow.
walk through the halls and see photos of fabulous, fabulous singers who've recorded there, and they have a lot of interesting artwork, and it's just a great location to be at.
That's nice. Now, how are you promoting your new album?
How are we promoting it? Let's see. I have I have a publicist who sends out, press releases to everybody, and then I work with another company called Mouthpiece Music, and they send out the CDs uh, to reviewers all over the world.
Nice.
So usually I've always had, thank goodness, I've always had good reviews, but we get a lot of reviews from Great Britain and also from Japan. So that's always fun.
Yeah, so you actually have a CD.
Yes, I actually have a CD.
Yeah,
I
'cause
think
most people,
nobody has a CD player anymore, but
no, I have one in my car, so I need to get a CD from you.
oh, well,
I still have a car that has a CD player, so
okay, well, I'll get your address and send you one.
awesome.
I have a car also that still has a seat. I have my car that I drive every day, but I have an old car that I keep because it's the only car that has a CD player in it. And I still like to listen to my CDs.
Me too. I have a 2008 Ford Edge and it has a 6 CD player and I
Oh,
love it. Yes, I love my CDs. Whenever I interview anyone that's, put out a record, because lots of times they're EPs. So oh, guys on Spotify. I know I want an actual CD. So if they have the CDs, or I love albums, vinyls. Some people are doing vinyls again. But it's just so awesome to just take it out of that case and pop it in there and the noise it makes. And then when it comes out, it's just bam. It's
well,
so great.
I remember when I was a kid, getting a new album, and I always liked to look at the photo. There would be photos in there and
Hmm.
message from the performer, and I like that. So
Me
that's why
too.
I still do CDs.
Good for you. So listen, the folks, you can get it digitally, but get a CD. You know, I have a CD player that's got it's yellow and it's Mickey. It's his ears and then his
Oh,
little feet. And
yeah.
I have that next to my bed. So I have that too. I love my CDs. That's really great. So who came up with the cover? I was gonna put it up here and I didn't have a chance, but I'll put it up on the
Oh,
after the interview.
I'm actually looking at it right here.
Yeah,
That was
show it to us.
there you go.
There, see? All right, look at that beautiful woman there.
That was taken at my front door.
That's your front door?
That's
That's
my front door.
gorgeous.
So
Oh,
we did
beautiful.
last year we did a photo shoot for a magazine, and that was one of the photos that came up. So I decided, oh, I really like that a lot.
Yes,
And
I do.
so I showed it to my brother. He said, "Oh, don't use that. It looks like you're doing a country and western album." And I said, "No, I'm using this. I like that."
No, it looks good. I think I love it. It's so beautiful what you're wearing, the way you're everything. It's really great.
Okay,
Congratulations.
thanks.
Good job on that. So, you said that you worked, you did backup singing, and do you go out and tour as well?
I've performed in New York a couple of times.
Okay.
Mostly I perform around here where in my neck of the woods. That means like LA and Orange
Yeah,
County.
yeah. Okay. And what is it like being in front of a live audience for you?
It's the best. It's exciting. It's thrilling. You know what? It's really funny because somebody once asked me how does flying an airplane compare to going on stage? And I said, you know, it's sort of the same. When you're sitting in an airplane and you're waiting for the tower to tell you that you can take off, and all of a sudden you hear, okay, whatever your plane number is, they say the plane number and they say you're cleared for takeoff. And it's the same when you're going on stage because you're waiting backstage and then you hear the announcer say, and now let's welcome Judy Whitmore. And it's the same feeling. It's that feeling of something really exciting is about to happen. And it'll be different every time.
No one has ever explained it to me like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it feels like. Lots
Wow.
of fun.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
That is so cool. So with the songs that you sing, what group of like age or people do come to your concerts? All ages come to see you?
All
All
ages.
ages.
All ages. It's really, yeah, yeah, all
That's
ages.
good. That's good to hear, that that you have
I,
all kinds of
I mean,
music.
there's young people. I mean, I sing mostly songs from the Great American Songbook. I sing some contemporary songs too. But if you think about the Great American Songbook, these are songs that were written primarily during World War I, the Great Depression, and World War II. And these were created at a time when people needed an escape from the troubles of every day, and they would look to our great composers like Cole Porter, George and Ira Gershwin, Johnny Mercer, Sammy Cahn. These composers and lyricists knew how to write music that would uplift people in times when they really needed it. And that's why I love this music so much. I think it's one of the greatest bodies of work ever created.
Yeah. See, and as in today's times,
Yeah,
we need you.
we need that.
Yeah, and that's what I said. Babe, listen, folks, we've got Mother's Day coming up. So this is besides getting one for yourself, you need to grab them for your mom and save some for birthdays, anniversaries. There's many reasons to get several copies of this because it is amazing and it's part of our history and it's something to show because once I get my CD, I will play it and I have a grandson who's 22, 16, and 6. So I will put them all together and get different perspectives from them and try to look up a little history on them and say this song was written back in this time and even have a photograph I find on Google. I'll make them look it up on their phone because they're so into their phones
I think
and talk about it, right?
I think that's a really great idea. About 6 months ago, I was at the drugstore. I was buying some chewing gum, and the guy behind the counter, I don't know, because he sees me in there all the time. He's told me, he said, I'm a musician, and so I said, oh, I'm a musician too. And so he said, well, I said, I'm a singer. He said, what kind of songs do you sing? And I said, oh, I sing the same kind of songs that Frank Sinatra sang. And so he said, who's that?
Oh, oh, break my
So
heart.
I said to him, if you are a musician, you need to go home and turn on YouTube and find out who Frank Sinatra was. Because if you're a musician, you need to know just not the music that you perform, you need to know the music that many people perform. You need to know about classical music, you need to know about folk music, you need to know about just everything. And I thought that was some good advice for him.
Exactly. My older son, he's the one that has the three grandsons or three sons. He'll be 40 this year, but I turned him on to Frank Sinatra several years ago and Dean Martin. Oh, he
Yeah,
loves it. And I mean, of course, he sings a lot of the Dean Martin shows because our songs because he gets into it. He's like Mr. Romantic, and even my younger son is 30, he'll be 35. They just love Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin,
yeah.
and I even showed him Sammy Davis Jr. I like to listen to like classic radio, different classic songs, like that, because it's a time I don't know if we're ever going to find again,
I
you
don't know. I don't know.
know? But you're bringing it to us, aren't you?
I'm doing what I can to keep this music alive.
Yes, and it's great. So, do you have a social media so our viewers can find you?
I'm at judywhitmore.com and I'm on Instagram and I think that's it.
No, that's fine. So it's just all one word, Judy Whitmore.
Judy Whitmore. Yeah.
No underscores or anything like that. Okay, we'll find the links and we'll put it up. And do you have different things on YouTube that folks can find you if they were to search for you?
I did a music video for every single that I've released. There's a music video.
There is
Yeah, so you can
awesome.
so it's I think it's just Judy Whitmore on
Okay,
YouTube.
we'll put that link up too.
There is another Judy Whitmore and I don't know what she does, but it's not me.
Okay, do you have a blue check mark next to yours? Or
I don't know to tell you the truth. I'm gonna as soon as I finish talking to you, I'm gonna go look.
yeah, because we just want to make sure that it's the right one. But
Okay.
they'll find you because they'll see your beautiful picture on there, and especially the cover of your album. So, what else are you working on besides promoting this?
Um, what am I working on? Well, I'm writing a new book. So I've been working on this book for years. And so this will be my fourth book. And and the singing sort of has taken over all my time.
Yeah.
And the book got put on the back burner. But now I'm seriously spending time every day trying to get this finished.
Can you at least tell us like what it's going to be about?
It
Or
started out as the story of my grandmother coming to America. And it took off from there. So
and what's your nationality? Where are they from?
they're from Russia.
They're from Russia. Both of them are from there.
Yeah, all of them.
Oh, all of them. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Oh, we can't wait to let us know when that's up and coming so we can get a copy of it and get a good review for you on that. And we'll talk to
Good.
you about that then. Anything else you'd like to share with us before we
Um,
say so long?
I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me today. It's just a pleasure talking to you. And I just hope you have a wonderful weekend in Palm Springs.
I'm going to. It's a little bit windy, but it's beautiful. It's a stagecoach is happening out here, the Country Western
Yeah.
Festival. And my grandson is here with his girlfriend and her girlfriend. So they're going. So I'm over here like kind of house sitting them, making sure everything is good. So
That's
yeah, so it's just anytime to come out here is wonderful. It actually is. Valerie is our senior editor here at the Hollywood Times. It's her home, and I love coming out here. So it's when I come here, I don't think about anything.
I
I
know.
forget about time. I forget about a phone. All my stress is gone, and this home gives that to me too because it just reminds me of the '60s, which I was born in 1960, so I'm gonna be 65 here next Saturday.
Wow,
Amazing.
happy birthday. Well,
Can't
Palm
wait.
Springs is always a refuge, I think. It's
Yes.
such a place. It's so nice to go out there and just turn your phone off and not do too much.
Yes. Do you have a home out here or a family home out here as well, or
No, we don't, but
darn it, huh?
I have a lot of friends who do, so we end up out there a lot.
Yeah, so I love it. So, but we do thank you for taking the time to talk to us here at the Hollywood Times. I will be putting this interview up on our YouTube channel on it's Hollywood Times official. So that will be a link that I will get to you, and we'll have a nice article for you. We'll get that up today so all our viewers can watch this video, and we appreciate
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you so much, Judy.
It's so nice to have met you,
Thank
and
you.
hopefully we'll meet in person one day.
I hope so.
Yeah, thank you.